This video is on how to pick out the components you will need for a good 2-channel or stereo hi-fi system. With both music streaming and the resurgence of vinyl coming at the same time, millions of people around the world are itching to put together a music system that is better than that trusted portable Bluetooth speaker. Some may be getting into it for the very first time, while others have fond memories of a system that they might have had decades ago. With all of the types of products to choose from today, starting from scratch can be a daunting and confusing task. But trust us, the end result will be well worth it, as there's nothing like having a great sounding music system in your home to discover new music with friends and family and play back your old favorites better than you've ever heard before. We'll go through some questions that you should ask yourself as you get started. For the purposes of this video, we will be talking about general types of components rather than specific brands and models. And within each category, you will find a very wide range of prices. Stereo systems are like anything. Diminishing returns set in when you go past a certain level, and that level varies greatly from individual to individual. Our best advice is to spend what you feel comfortable with as long as you can hear a difference as you keep spending more. We've observed in our almost 50 years of helping people put together great systems, what perfectly satisfies one person may not even come close for another. Now, this video will not help you pick out components within a specific category, but is at a basic level to help you think about what type of components you want to look at for your stereo system. We've got plenty of other videos at audioadvice.com that get into the component categories and how to choose the best one for you. Plus, if you have more questions on specific components, reach out to our team of experts via chat or phone and they can help you further. Let's start with the questions you should ask yourself first, then discuss the components you might consider based on how you answered these questions. Okay, so question number 1 will be how you get music to your system. You need to decide if you want to go with music streaming and CDs or step into or back into the world of vinyl, and if so, will it be vinyl only? If you are thinking about vinyl, this is a deeper, more philosophical question to consider. For many vinyl lovers, the format is about hearing music in its pure analog form. But for others, it is more about owning the physical disc with all of the cool artwork and just having fun playing a record. Decades ago, before the advent of CD and digital technology, everything was recorded in analog. When digital technology arrived, it swept over recording studios like a wildfire. So 99.9% of new albums since the late 80s have all been recorded with digital equipment. If you want the closest sound for more current recordings, using a high-res streaming service will get you closer than vinyl. If you have inherited or have a nice collection of records from the early 80s or backwards, you might want to think about going with a system that allows you to go all analog. Or if you love browsing antique malls, used record stores, or the internet for original analog recorded vinyl records, it can turn into a really fun hobby. If you do want to get into vinyl, the answer to this will change the path you will want to take when looking at your equipment. So for those of you who want to get into vinyl, I've put a link below to our turntable buyer's guide. You will obviously need a turntable to play back vinyl, and our guide covers everything you will need to know about turntables. Some of the things we talk about there will make more sense once you have gone over our guide. The next question is, will this be a dedicated room for music only? Or do you think that now or one day you would want to be able to improve your TV sound with the same gear, or even go further and get into an immersive surround sound system? So, have you answered all those questions in your head? Now let's dive into the different categories of gear and see which best suits your answers. Powered speakers have taken the audio world by storm over the last few years. They offer a lot of advantages and can be had in all shapes, sizes, and prices. The idea is you get a pair of speakers for stereo sound that are fully self-contained. You can spread them apart to get that great separation a stereo system is all about, and many of them sound pretty amazing. For someone just starting out, they are an easy way to get a decent to really good 2-channel system, and you will usually be able to control everything, including volume, from an app on your smartphone. Many of them will fit the bill for almost all of the answers in our quiz, except for those of you who want a pure analog path for your vinyl. If you answered yes to that question, skip to the next section. Now, let's look at how powered speakers can help you with different types of music sources. The first source option would be music streaming. There are several things to consider when choosing a set of powered speakers. Some will have Bluetooth streaming, which is a super convenient way to get music into them. Remember though, even the latest so-called high-performance Bluetooth aptX is still limited in how good it can sound, and it is not as good as CD quality. The higher performing models will include, along with Bluetooth, AirPlay 2. AirPlay 2 is capable of higher resolution streaming than Bluetooth and is super simple to use. As you move up, you will find models that offer even better quality. Units with Chromecast offer higher resolution than even AirPlay 2, as the music is sent directly from your music servers to the powered speaker. And for the very best, if you can find powered speakers with Tidal Connect or Qobuz built in, those can offer up to 24-bit 192 kHz music streaming. Or if the speaker is room ready, this paid service offers the same high resolution. Now, bear in mind that you will need some pretty good powered speakers for a casual listener to hear the differences between any of these, especially AirPlay 2 and up. However, with a great set of powered speakers set up properly, the serious listener will hear the improvements. Many powered speakers will have a built-in phono preamp or set of auxiliary jacks where you could plug in a turntable that has a built-in phono preamp. Or should you have a turntable that does not have a phono preamp built in, you could purchase an external phono preamp and connect it to the powered speakers. Once you get beyond the most basic powered speakers, you'll find this connection, which makes it very simple to add a turntable to a good set of powered speakers. Now, the only thing we will point out again is it will not be a pure analog path, as almost every powered speaker we know of uses digital processing. But for most people getting into a vinyl 2-channel system, this is a great way to go. If you have a lot of old CDs, you will likely find the same music on most of the streaming services, making it easier to access. But if you have some obscure ones, just check for powered speakers with an aux jack to connect up a CD player with. Bear in mind, if you also want to do vinyl, most powered speakers only have one aux, but a few do have both an aux and phono input. In order to get the sound from your TV into a set of powered speakers, you will want to find a pair that has either an optical audio input or an HDMI ARC input. You will want to check your TV to make sure it has an optical out or HDMI ARC connection. HDMI ARC will let the TV remote take over the volume control for your powered speakers, which is super handy. However, either of these will enable you to port TV sound over to your far better powered speakers. This will not be a full surround system, but should be miles ahead of the cheap speakers built into your TV. So as you can see, powered speakers have a lot of advantages. Some models even have separate amplifiers built in for each of the speaker drivers and create sound that can rival or exceed many separates-based audio systems. If you would like to learn more about powered speakers, we have several different articles and videos on them, including breakdowns in different price ranges that will be linked below. With audio separates, we basically take all of the parts you find in a powered set of speakers and put them in separate components. This approach gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of both choices and future upgrades. With powered speakers, when you have the itch to make things sound even better, you will need to replace everything. With separate audio components, you can upgrade one piece at a time. A lot of the same features we talked about with powered speakers will apply to audio separates as well. This category has a few levels that we will go over. The streaming amplifier and passive speakers would be the most basic separate system for those of you interested in music streaming and vinyl playback. Here we have the music streamer, a preamp, and a power amplifier built into one box. You can then simply connect up a pair of speakers and you are good to go. Many of them come with a built-in phono preamp or an aux input you could use with a turntable that has a built-in phono preamp or a separate one. Most will also have either an optical or HDMI ARC input to improve your TV sound too. And almost all of them will have more than just Bluetooth, usually including AirPlay 2, Chromecast, and all of the connects, and a lot of them are room capable. Like powered speakers, this combination will usually give you full control of everything right from your phone. Just like powered speakers, there's a huge variety of these that range in price from a few $100s to well above $10,000. Some of these are almost works of art externally too. They are made so well. The pros with this approach are a minimal number of components, but just like powered speakers, if you want to improve things later, you will either need to upgrade the entire streaming amplifier or the speakers. And if you want a pure analog signal path for your vinyl, there are very few that actually do this. To help you nail down the best components here, we have a wealth of videos that cover this type of gear and the speakers you might want to pair it up with. When you get into this range, a consultation with one of our passionate audio experts at audioadvice.com is a really good way to get started. There are hundreds of possible combinations, and we can help you sort through the very best ones. This category is where things start to get really fun, as you can mix and match to suit your taste. Here, we will have an integrated amplifier that powers the speakers you choose. You will connect up the integrated amplifier, a separate streamer and/or turntable, and any other sources like a CD player or AM/FM tuner you might desire. This approach lets you focus on what is most important to you. Many integrated amplifiers are pure analog, so if you want an amazing vinyl system with streaming music for entertaining but not super high quality, you can choose an excellent turntable, integrated amp, and speakers, but then get a basic streamer. Or if you want both to be great, you can use a higher performance streamer and get the best of both worlds. Most separate streamers will have Bluetooth, AirPlay 2, Chromecast, and all of the connects, and many are room ready. In this class, you will also find much more powerful integrated amplifiers available if you want to drive a large set of speakers that need serious power to get going. For improving TV sound, some will have optical HDMI ARC or both, but since a lot of these are made for people who want a dedicated stereo system, you will find about half of these do not have either one and are just pure analog. All is not lost though, as many of these will have a pretty cool feature that lets you combine a home theater system with a 2-channel audio system. This is called the home theater bypass feature, and it's so cool that we actually have an entire video on it, which I'll link below. It lets you keep the purity of your great 2-channel system in all analog, then use your main front speakers with a home theater receiver and as many other speakers as the receiver supports. For those of you wanting something better with more flexibility or pure analog, this is a great way to go, and the music lovers on our team would love to help you get started. The only con is that this method typically does not give you control from your phone, especially if the integrated amp is all analog. Next, we move into all separates. Here we take the integrated amplifier and break it into 2 parts, the 2-channel preamp and a separate power amplifier. Having the power amplifier be a separate piece of gear has a lot of audio advantages, and you will find some extremely powerful amplifiers available. For the preamp part, there are 2 choices. We're seeing a lot of combination preamp music streamers come to the market. If you have a large pair of speakers that need a lot of power to get going and are into streaming or CDs, this is a great way to go. It will give you the amazing power of separates with the ability to control everything from your phone, including volume. The other way is with a pure analog preamp that connects up to the power amp. You then add the sources you want, which could be a separate streamer, turntable, CD player, AM/FM tuner, or more. The pure analog preamps will not have a way to get TV sound into them, but most will have home theater bypass. Separate components also give you the most upgrade flexibility, as you can upgrade any or all of them when you get the itch. We could do a whole thesis video on all of the choices available in this category, but we just wanted to give you just enough here so that you know it does exist for those who want the very best. As you can see, there are all kinds of possible ways to put together a 2-channel music system. We hope this basic guide has given you enough information to start thinking about the direction you might want to go, so that when you reach out to our team, they can help guide you to the best gear for your room and budget. If you've enjoyed this video, or it's helped you get started, one of the best ways to support us is to give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on any of our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.